Opium, Kawaii Carti BBL Bisexual Vampires record label. Home of himself, Ken Carson, Destroylonely, aka Mr. finally dropped If Looks Could Kill this morning at 12 in the morning, and Homixide Gang. So if you're not familiar with Opium's main issue, besides, you know, the whole thing with Homixide Bino and the tour and the texting thingy, it's pretty much that Carti is known for never dropping music ever at all. And peep the Taco Bell. I got the Taco Bell strawberry lemonade thing with the little nugget type things, you know, with the cream on the inside. Pause. The cinnamon, yeah, the cinnamon things. Fire. Go try them if you haven't. The last time we actually dropped solo music was when Whole Lotta Red came out in like Christmas 2020. But besides that, I think it was like 2021. Well, he was on a few Donda songs and he did that song with Trippie Redd. So that means his last drop officially was fucking Christmas of 2020. And guess what the date is today? It is March 3rd as I'm recording this. And I wrote this last night, March 2nd. Alright, so let's find out how long it's been since he actually dropped a solo song. Let's do the little calculations. Yeah, never mind. I'm a lazy bum. I'm not doing that. All right, so let's look up a calculator, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to look up a how many days since calculator. A calculator right here. So that was what? Christmas 2020. So that's 25th. Holy sh! I was having a stroke while trying to find it. That was 2020. What the? 2020 to today. That is, or is it? That is 798 fucking days. Okay, so now let's continue. Let's do a little bit more math. Okay, let's do some more math on this. So, right, so 798 days, 24 hours in a day. Carti has not dropped in 19,152 hours. And let's do a little bit more math, since I'm feeling a little bit like a professor today and I'm skipping a few of my classes. So let's do this times 60. Carti has not dropped in 1,149,120 minutes. 1,100,000 minutes. This means that Carti has spent more time posting fit pics as a vamp, cheating on Iggy, and, you know, the whole situation with him being physical with his pregnant girlfriend, or the pregnant lady that he's like talking to or whatever. Then he spent more time doing all of those combined versus being in the studio. But, you know, there are a few artists that can just do that, you know, just go years without dropping anything or doing any type of interviews or anything like that. So let's say like SZA, you know, Kendrick, the GOAT Leroy, you know, Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, blah blah blah. But you see, there is a big difference between those people and Carti. It's those people aren't known for hitting their fans. You know, there have been a few recorded incidents of Carti just like walking out of a show for whatever reason. Granted, it's probably not the greatest of reasons, and then along with that too, Carti's always, not always, but every so often he'll like drop some type of snippet and then never post it ever. Or you know, like Narcissist, the whole that whole incident, you know, we didn't know if it was a clothing line or a new album, and well, we knew it was a new album because it's Carti, but you know, stuff like that. And plus the Christmas 2022 incident that we do not speak about. But you know, the other artists, what they do is they, you know, do the interviews, they do a little bit of a rollout, they interact with the fans and all that. But what does Carti do? Nothing. From the fans' perspective, it's literally just a parasocial relationship with Carti versus other artists that actually, like, they'll go on Instagram Live with some of their fans, or I don't know, like actually respond to them on Twitter or stuff like that, or have some type of like meetup, pop-up shop, something like that, to keep them engaged and always have stuff going on with them. And like I briefly mentioned before at the start of the video, there are a few interesting things that happen with Homixide Bino. You know, granted, they are accusations and there are some screenshots, but once again, I will continue to say allegedly. But, you know, long story short, apparently coming from screenshots, from alleged screenshots and alleged people that were also backstage, he was trying to bring in minors backstage. And, you know, especially at rap concerts, when an artist is a male and they're trying to bring a female fan backstage, you know, you kind of already know what that means and what they're hinting at and what they're trying to do. Along with this, right, he was also apparently trying to get one of them to go back to his house or some type of hotel, something else like that. So, and you know, granted, I'm not the biggest Ken Carson or destroylonely fan, but you know, I listen to a decent amount, you know about a few things here and there going on, and I hear enough about them. They both drop relatively consistently. They're not like Russ or Lil B levels of dropping. Granted, Lil B is at like an insane different level of dropping. He'll have like songs with, you know, albums with like 100 or 70 plus songs, which is insane. You know, they both have a few girls here and there. One of them just got released this morning once again. Not as much as Carti, but they still have a decent amount, you know, a fair amount. Ken has like, what, 4.2 million monthly Spotify listeners as I'm making this right now, while destroylonely has like 3 mil, something close enough to that. Still doing numbers, you know. Their tours are going pretty well, unlike a certain rapper whose name starts with a D and ends with a Y, you know. They're both going on tours across the US, Canada, and Europe, and they're even going to like relatively like, I don't want to say obscure, but like kind of interesting places like the Czech Republic that not too many people have even given a second guess to. You know, personally, I've had about like 3 friends go to either Ken Carson and or destroylonely concerts. They didn't have like any complaints, and neither did any of the people in the Carti sub or people that I saw on like Instagram Reels there or on TikTok or something else like that. But, you know, I do have a complaint for the Leroy concerts, you know. I doubt I'd have one for the Ken Carson concerts. I might have the same one, actually. And for like Ken Carson and destroylonely concerts, even Carti sometimes, not really. Some parents will be there. Like sometimes maybe by themselves, or not necessarily parents, just like the age of a parent. And if they are actually parent, then sometimes they're there with their kids that are like maybe 14, 15, 16, 17, which is pretty cool, you know. They for the moms and dads. And, you know, on top of all the touring and stuff, they also have a pretty good social media presence. They appear in some interview type stuff on YouTube, so like Icebox, the like jewelry place in Atlanta, Montreality, which I would assume takes place in Montreal, Canada. Genius Verified, where they explain the lyrics and stuff like that. Viper, Kids Take Over, and they all have their own social media waves. And for example, by social media waves, I mean like Ken Carson had this like TikTok thing a while ago where people would get like a broom or whatever and then yell Ken Carson, and then destroylonely also has the If Looks Could Kill thing where they'll play like they'll play the snippet and then they'll put it like as the background music to like a video that goes hard, so like Batman Arkham gameplay or something else that gives you that feeling. Okay, so when you think about artists in the social media era, so let's say like I'll say 2015 plus, when you think about how they get popular and continue to stay relevant and keep staying relevant, how do you think they do that? Wrong! It's social media, personality, being somewhat authentic, and staying connected with the fans. And what are some artists that do this pretty well, if not even better? Say Yeet, Doja Cat, The Weeknd, Baby Tron, Drake, Ice Spice, Ken Carson, Nicki Minaj, and a few other people. You know, it is pretty unlikely that Carti is gonna drop soon, if like within another year or so. So now we're pretty much just relying on X-Man and Lone to keep Opium afloat. Is it possible for Lone and X-Man to get bigger than Carti? Yes. But will it happen soon? No. Carti still has a shit ton more fans and a shit ton more hype around his name than the other two. And Homixide. Opium isn't over. Ken and Destroy just have to just keep carrying Opium for a bit and keep putting in the heavy work until I guess somebody else gets signed from Opium, or Carti drops, or the homicide situation gets sorted out. But you know, for now, they're just gonna keep reaping the benefits of the work, you know, which they deserve, of course. But what do you guys think? What do you think specifically would help Opium get bigger and grow as a label? And if you're still here watching, thank you. You know, appreciate it for watching like most of the video. You know, and if you're new here too, drop a sub and check out my other content. You know, I'll be posting weekly now, and I'm just trying to shit out scripts because I have spring break. So I'm just gonna actually try and do like 4 or 5 videos, if not a little bit more, and have those ready and keep posting them out. And then along with that too, after break, I'm gonna try to at least write like 2 scripts a week, and then have one edited video up per week. So you know, follow my socials, specifically Twitch and Instagram. Once we hit about 10-15 concurrent viewers on Twitch, then I'll be streaming daily for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour a day, and we'll do stuff like play video games, like mostly COD and Fortnite, and then watch TV and movies, and then Discord stuff too, like 5-star Max, I forgot his name, plaqueboymax, when the channel gets big enough. But yeah, thank you, peace.